Don't eat carrots anymore. Doesn't that statement sound a little crazy? For years, you've been taught that carrots are the best way to safeguard your eyesight, that beta-carotene is your visual insurance policy, and that if you want to keep your eyesight healthy after 60, you only need to eat more orange foods. But what if such advice is only partly true and missing something that could silently make you less clear? What if merely thinking about carrots is keeping you from a deeper, more potent strategy that goes after the true reason why your vision gets worse with age? Imagine finding out that the best way to safeguard your eyes isn't to eat more vegetables, but to do something much more strategic, targeted, and in line with modern research. And here's the awkward question. May ignoring this new information make the eyesight problems you're attempting to avoid happen faster? If you want reliable senior health information from places like Harvard Medical School, the Mayo Clinic, and the American Heart Association, make sure you subscribe right now. This channel is for seniors who wish to stay healthy and keep their independence, keep their wits bright, and have lots of energy after age 60. We focus on science-based anti-aging routines for people over 60 that you may do at home. When you subscribe, you're not just following a channel, you're putting money into long-term clarity, mobility, and confidence. And what we're talking about today could really impact how you think about eye health for good. Let's now talk about the carrot myth in a careful and courteous way. Carrots have a lot of beta-carotene, which the body turns into vitamin A. Vitamin A is important for keeping the retina healthy, especially for seeing at night. The National Institutes of Health say that a lack of vitamin A can cause night blindness and other major health problems. But a lot of people don't know this. In the US, the UK, and Canada, older folks who eat a well-balanced diet don't often have an actual vitamin A shortage. To put it another way, most older people are not going blind because they don't eat enough carrots. So what is the biggest threat, if not deficiency? Not getting enough vitamin A is not the only thing that can impair your eyesight beyond age 60. There is long-term inflammation, oxidative stress, and damage to small blood vessels in the eye. Harvard Medical School evaluated research that often brought up the idea that oxidative stress is a major factor in age-related macular degeneration, which is one of the main causes of vision loss in older people. When free radicals get too strong for your body's antioxidants to handle, oxidative stress ensues. This hurts the fragile cells of your retina. And this damage doesn't hurt when it happens. It happens slowly and softly, year after year. Think about how small sparks hit delicate tissue every day. What do you imagine occurs over time if the sparks aren't put out? This is where the narrative gets even more crucial. A lot of older people think that if they just eat healthy, they've done everything they need to do. But what if your current diet keeps your vitamin A levels up, but lets inflammation smolder under the surface? The Mayo Clinic says that persistent inflammation is connected to many ailments that happen as you become older, such as heart disease. There are many tiny blood vessels in the retina that are very sensitive to damage from inflammation. Vision can get worse if those blood vessels get narrower, weaker, or leak. So be honest with yourself. Have you been going after the symptom or the main cause? Imagine if your eyes are high-tech cameras that have been taking pictures non-stop for 60 or 70 years. Every time the sun rises, every time a screen is bright, and every time a car's headlights shine, stress builds. Over time, the lens gets harder, the macula gets weaker, and the body's natural repair systems slow down. The American Academy of Ophthalmology says that the chances of getting cataracts and macular degeneration go up a lot as you become older. But just because something is risky doesn't mean it will happen. This is where hope comes into play. If inflammation and oxidative stress are the main causes, then dealing with those processes may be a better way to go than just eating more carrots. I want to ask you something private. Have you noticed that you need more light to see small text than you used to? Do you feel like driving at night is a little more uncomfortable than it was 10 years ago? These alterations may seem normal, but that doesn't imply they can't be changed back. What if making little changes every day could slow down that path?
What if there's a technique to actively protect your retinal cells instead of just hoping they stay strong? In the next part, we'll look at the specific biological changes that happen in aging eyes and find out why a certain spice, one that has been used for hundreds of years but is now being backed up by modern research, may be better at protecting your vision than another serving of carrots. And once you know how it works at the molecular level, you might never look at your spice rack the same way again.
Now that we know why carrots alone might not be the whole answer, we need to look even deeper into the tiny world inside your eyes. Here's something most people don't know. Vision loss after age 60 doesn't start all at once. It builds up slowly and quietly at the cellular level. You can lose the chance to step in early if you don't know what's going on below the surface. Picture microscopic cells in your retina working all the time to turn light into electrical messages that your brain can use to make pictures. These cells are some of the most active in your body when it comes to metabolism. That implies they make a lot of oxidative waste every day. Now, think about this. What happens when the oxidative load is too high for your body to handle? According to studies that are often talked about in publications linked to Harvard Medical School, oxidative stress is one of the main causes of age-related macular degeneration. This disorder affects the macula, which is the region of the retina that gives you clear center vision. You need this vision to read, recognize faces, and drive. Oxidative stress hurts retinal pigment epithelial cells, which makes the structural support of your macula weaker. You might not notice the damage at first because it starts off so minor. For example, straight lines might look wavy or small print might become frustratingly unclear. And at that point, stopping it gets harder. So here's an uncomfortable but empowering question. Why wait for symptoms when you can make your defenses stronger right now? The second important part of this jigsaw is inflammation. The Mayo Clinic has always stressed how persistent inflammation can lead to diseases that come with age. Low-level inflammation in the eye can break down the blood-retina barrier, slow down blood flow, and make fragile photoreceptor cells more likely to get hurt. Inflammation is like a fire that burns slowly. It might not seem like a big deal, but it weakens the structure over time. If your retinal cells are always getting inflammatory signals, they won't be able to fix themselves as well. And at age 60, the body's natural repair processes are already slower than they were decades before. You could fix a roof during a storm, but it would be much harder. This is where curcumin, the active ingredient in turmeric, comes into play in a big way. Researchers have looked at curcumin's strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. It interacts with molecular pathways that are involved in inflammation, such as NF-kappa B, which controls how the body reacts to inflammation. Chronic inflammation rises when this pathway is too active. In lab and animal experiments, curcumin has been shown to change this pathway, which stops inflammatory signaling. Now, stop and think about this. Instead of just giving additional vitamin A, you're actually lowering the biochemical triggers that hurt retinal cells in the first place. That's a whole different plan. New studies have also looked into curcumin's possible significance in preventing against diabetic retinopathy. Based on facts cited in medical literature studies, curcumin may assist in diminishing vascular inflammation and oxidative damage in retinal tissues impacted by elevated blood sugar levels. Researchers are still looking at it because the biological plausibility is strong enough, even if human experiments are still going on. And here's why this is important to you, even if you don't have diabetes. As you get older, have high blood pressure, or have a metabolic imbalance, you can get the same microvascular stress that people with diabetes get. The American Heart Association says that good vascular health is essential for aging well in general. Your retina needs little blood vessels to stay alive. You defend your sight by protecting your vessels. But here's the important thing that most folks don't get. Curcumin doesn't just work as an antioxidant. In some forms, it seems to breach the blood-retina barrier, which means it might have a direct effect on retinal tissue. Researchers are excited about that potential. Think about how your eyes would be supported not from the outside, but from the inside of the tissue that processes light. That's a big change in how you do things. And if you add in practices that lower systemic inflammation, the effect might be even stronger. Take a time to think about it. Do you normally think of your eyes when you think about health suggestions for seniors? Or do you usually think about your heart health, joint pain, or memory? What if your eyes are patiently waiting for the same level of strategic care? What if the reason so many older people have trouble seeing is not because they are getting older, but because the wrong systems are being targeted? We'll talk about how to utilize turmeric appropriately in the next part. Most people don't realize that dosage, absorption, and timing are very important. If you don't do it well, you might not absorb much. If you plan it out well, it may become one of the easiest anti-aging routines for people over 60 that you do every day. And the difference between those two ways of doing things may be what makes the difference between getting real advantages and not getting any at all.
Now we go from theory to practice. Knowing how to utilize curcumin is important, but really utilizing it right is what really changes things. Most people don't know this. If you take turmeric the wrong manner, you cannot get any benefits at all. You could put it on meals for years and still only get a small amount of its active constituent. Think about how you can think you're safeguarding your vision while your body isn't using the compound you're banking on. There's a gap between what you want to do and what actually works, and that's where a lot of well-meaning seniors lose success. So the question is, are you using this spice on purpose or simply for fun? Curcumin, the main active ingredient in turmeric, is not very bioavailable on its own. That suggests that your body has a hard time absorbing it well. Many academic studies that look at drugs say that curcumin is quickly broken down and removed from the body when taken alone. But when mixed with piperine, a chemical found in black pepper, absorption can go up a lot. Some studies say that numbers could go up by as much as 2,000%. Take a moment to think about that. Taking turmeric by itself and with the right foods could make a big difference in how much it affects your body. This is why elders need to pay attention to the small things when it comes to maintaining a healthy life. But absorption is only one element of the whole picture. Curcumin dissolves more and travels better when you eat it with healthy fats because it is fat-soluble. This is why old-fashioned ways of taking turmeric, like mixing it with warm milk or cooking it with oils, may have worked better than current dry capsules eaten on an empty stomach. Imagine waking up to a simple golden drink made with warm milk or a plant-based milk, half a teaspoon of turmeric, a bit of black pepper, and a little olive oil or coconut oil. In less than 5 minutes, you've made one of the easiest morning rituals for seniors that helps keep inflammation in check. But here's the bigger question. Are you consistent enough to let it build up over time? People at places like the Mayo Clinic say that controlling chronic inflammation isn't about one big change, it's about making small changes every day. It seems that curcumin works best when you take it every day for weeks or months, not just once in a while. Think about how to brush your teeth. You don't think that one brushing session will keep cavities from forming forever. The same idea works here. To work, anti-aging practices for people over 60 need to be done over and over again. Think about how you could help your retinal cells every day by slowly reducing inflammatory signals. That effect may be considerable over the course of a year. Now let's talk about dosage carefully, because more isn't always better. Numerous research investigating curcumin utilized doses between 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams daily of standardized extract, frequently in conjunction with piperine. However, whole turmeric powder has less curcumin than other types, usually just 2 to 5%. That means cooking turmeric is helpful, but not as strong as concentrated pills. You should talk to your doctor before taking any supplements, especially if you take blood thinners, have gallbladder problems, or have bleeding disorders. Curcumin can change how blood clots. Being safe is part of being smart. I need to ask you something crucial. Are you hoping for a miracle, or are you making a plan? Turmeric is best used as part of a comprehensive plan for senior health recommendations that includes things like improving circulation, controlling blood sugar, getting enough sleep, and eating a variety of nutrients. The American Heart Association says that systemic inflammation makes blood vessels work less well. Microcirculation is important for your retina, so by lowering inflammation throughout the body, you also help blood flow to the eyes. Picture your eye's small blood vessels working well, bringing oxygen and nutrients to the right places. Repair can only happen in that internal environment. Habit design is also important for consistency. The finest habits for seniors who live at home are ones that fit into their daily lives.
If you already drink coffee or tea in the morning, adding turmeric to a drink in the middle of the day may seem like a natural thing to do. A golden drink before bed can work better if evenings are quieter. The most important thing is to connect the habit to something you do every day. And here's a powerful moment of reflection. Can you promise to do one modest thing every day for the next 30 days to help you reach your vision? Imagine putting it on your schedule. That visual accountability makes it easier to follow through. But there's one additional thing that a lot of people don't think about: when inflammatory triggers happen. If you eat a lot of processed foods, sweets, or refined carbs, your body may send out inflammatory signals all day long. Curcumin can help, but it can't totally stop repeated inflammatory inputs. That's why we'll look at the lifestyle choices that can make curcumin's protective effects stronger or weaker in the next section. Because the true strength comes from combining spices in smart ways. And once you get that synergy, your approach to energy beyond 60 and protecting your eyes may become much more planned and much more effective.
This is where everything comes together or breaks apart. You can take turmeric every day, mix it with black pepper, and choose the perfect dose, but if your general lifestyle is working against you, you may not see any difference. It can sound painful, but once you get it, it gives you power. The truth is that your eyes are not alone. They are linked to your heart, blood vessels, blood sugar, sleep quality, and even how stressed you are. So the true question is, are your daily routines helping you reach your goal or hurting it without you knowing it? Let's start with circulation. The American Heart Association says that cardiovascular health has a direct effect on how the body's microvessels work. Small, weak blood veins carry oxygen and nourishment to your retina. Retinal cells get less support when those vessels stiffen or constrict because of plaque formation or not moving around enough. That drop in blood supply can speed up deterioration over time. Now, picture yourself sitting all day, every day. Inflammation slowly rises, blood flow slows, and oxygen supply drops. Then think about this. May walking for 20 minutes every day make a big difference in that internal environment? Harvard Medical School has stressed that moderate exercise enhances endothelial function, which is important for blood vessels to open up properly. Walking quickly can improve blood flow in just a few weeks. Imagine this: a simple morning walk after your turmeric drink, with the sun slowly waking you up and getting your blood flowing better to your brain and eyes. That mix of anti-inflammatory support and better circulation works together. Not just one answer, but layered protection is what healthy living for seniors really looks like. And if you haven't been moving around much, may today be the day that changes. Now let's talk about blood sugar levels. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say that diabetic retinopathy is still one of the most common causes of visual loss in older persons. Even if you don't have diabetes, having blood sugar levels that change can put stress on the blood vessels in your retina. The Mayo Clinic has said many times how important it is to keep blood sugar levels steady to avoid problems with blood vessels. Eating a lot of sugar causes inflammation and oxidative stress, which is what curcumin is aiming to quiet down. Think about trying to put out a fire while still pouring gasoline on it. That's what happens when blood sugar levels aren't stable. Cutting back on refined carbs, putting more emphasis on fiber-rich veggies like spinach and kale, and adding omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish are all good ways to safeguard your eyes. The Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health says that lutein and zeaxanthin, which are present in dark leafy greens, build up in the retina and help block harmful blue light. Think about how you may make your macula stronger from the inside out by using more than one spice. It's not about being perfect, it's about putting together little benefits. Another important pillar that people often forget about is sleep. Your body clears out metabolic waste and turns on repair pathways as you sleep deeply. Chronic lack of sleep raises levels of inflammatory markers. The American Heart Association says that getting enough sleep every night is important for long-term health. Stop and think for a moment. Are you giving your eyes the time they need to heal?
Imagine staying up late every night with bright screens. Blue light exposure puts more stress on the retina, and not getting enough sleep makes it harder for the retina to repair itself. On the other hand, think of a relaxing evening routine, low light, and 7 to 8 hours of sleep without being disturbed. That setting lets cellular healing function in your favor. A lot of individuals don't know how important stress management is. Stress that lasts a long time raises cortisol levels, which can change blood sugar, inflammation, and blood vessel tone. This stress on the whole body might affect eye health over time. Light stretching, gentle breathing exercises, prayer, meditation, or just being quiet might help calm the sympathetic nervous system. These are not extras, they are instruments that keep you safe. Diet and exercise are generally the main emphasis of senior health suggestions, but keeping your emotions in check is also important for anyone over 60. Here's a strong question. When was the last time you made a point of relaxing your body and mind for the sake of your vision? Last but not least, you can't disregard routine eye exams. The American Academy of Ophthalmology says that seniors should get full, dilated eye exams even if they don't have any symptoms. Finding macular degeneration, glaucoma, or alterations in blood vessels early on enables for treatment before damage that can't be fixed happens. Turmeric and healthy behaviors can help you keep from getting sick, but keeping an eye on things is what really keeps you safe. Think about how much better it would be to notice a tiny problem early on than after your vision is already bad. Prevention is less noisy than therapy, but it works much better. Now take a step back and see the whole thing. A morning regime that includes turmeric, a brief walk every day, blood sugar that is balanced, greens on your plate, omega-3 support, sleep deeply, less stress, regular checkups for your eyes. Each part is useful on its own. When you put them all together, they make a defensive system. What Best Habits for Seniors at Home really entails is not making things complicated, but sticking to them. In the next and last section, we'll put everything together into a simple, organized weekly schedule that you can follow without feeling overwhelmed. This will help you protect not only your vision, but also your independence and energy after age 60 for years to come. This is a useful plan. Drink something with turmeric, black pepper, and healthy fat when you wake up. Take a quick 15-minute stroll within 30 minutes to get your blood flowing. At least one meal a day should have leafy greens and an omega-3 source. The American Heart Association says that for overall health, you should get 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night and avoid too much blue light in the evening. The body's maintenance systems work best when you sleep. Think about your body doing maintenance work as you sleep, getting rid of metabolic waste from delicate tissues like your eyes. Make sure to have regular eye exams. The American Academy of Ophthalmology says that seniors should get full, dilated eye exams, even if they don't have any symptoms. Finding abnormalities early on can save your vision. Don't wait until your vision is hazy to do something. It's usually easier to stop something than to fix it. And don't forget that turmeric is a helpful tool, not a cure-all by itself. Talk to your doctor before you eat more turmeric if you take blood thinners or have gallbladder problems. Curcumin can interfere with some medications. Take a moment to think. What is one thing you can do every day starting tomorrow? Put it in the comments. Is it putting in turmeric? Do you walk every day? More leafy greens? Doing the best things for seniors at home doesn't mean being perfect. It's about being consistent. Just like oxidative damage, small changes you make every day add up over time. The difference is that these changes will build towards clarity, independence, and vitality beyond age 60. Carrots are not bad, but they don't solve everything either. Inflammation, oxidative stress, and vascular degeneration are the main enemies of your vision beyond age 60. Turmeric, with its active ingredient curcumin, could be a helpful part of a larger plan for seniors to live a healthy life. Instead of just one vegetable, think about a comprehensive, science-based approach based on senior health recommendations and anti-aging routines for people over 60. If you found this helpful, please like this video so that more elders can learn about these ways to protect their eyes. Sign up for more expert advice on energy beyond 60, morning routines for seniors, and the best natural ways to stay healthy and independent. And don't stop now. Your vision is just one part of a much wider, beautiful picture of lifelong health. Watch our next video about daily routines that can help your heart and brain after age 60.